thought I'd show you. I know I've kind of told everybody what kind of hay ground we have, or what makes our hay ground, or most of you that are kind of local or from the Midwest probably know. But I know, and I've kind of gathered there's a lot of people I don't quite understand what I talk about with waterways and contour strips. This farm is a pretty good example because one I can show you it because it's kind of easy to see just because the way the land rolls. But this is roughly about an 80-acre field. From there's the corner, goes up the hill, and then you can make a line out. This is soybeans. You can see a cornfield over there. That's the border. Then it goes all the way up there, then down this road, and kind of back around here. But there is about 8 acres of waterways down through the center there, like right down in where that brown ends. There's a creek. So what this farm has done, when it rains, the water is going to run down those low spots. So to prevent erosion, that's all seeded down to grass, and then there was a pretty good example the other day of a waterway that there was water pouring down it after about 3 inches of rain. But yeah, I've got that stuff raked. There's a waterway that goes up that way. There's a big one that goes all the way across the farm, and it goes up the side of that hill for headlands. So when it rains, the water doesn't follow the rows down the hill. This little piece is basically a hassle to farm, I guess. There's probably an old building site. This is the building side of it. So there was probably kind of the way it's laid and kind of way it's the dip in the middle. There's probably used to be a barn or something there, and it was probably buried. So it's just not farm ground, but it's kind of a pain to rake. I backed up into all this to rake it all out because you can't turn around. But there'll be roughly 3 to 4 bales an acre off of stuff like this. Most of it is free for the doing, or really cheap, because best thing for waterways is to have the grass taken off of them, not just batwing them, because then you leave all that crap on them, and eventually you get it builds up, and then the water hits the edges of the waterway, and then it follows the edges of the waterway and cuts a ditch down the side of it. So then you got to go in and rebuild your waterways. So the best thing is to get the hay off of it, the grass off of it. Only problem is they can be wet, and you don't want to really mow them when it's going to rain. I lucked out on these. It is wet down at the bottom of there. So usually they're the last things to dry out. This is end of June. This is the last of my first cutting hay. I'm roughly 14 miles from home. I usually do this farm, and 2 other ones on my way here. So it's kind of, I hit about 30 acres in this stretch, but the weather just didn't kind of work out that way. So we're here last. But that's kind of what it is. You got a little old building site. All the farms are acreaged off. Old buildings have been pushed in a hole. That's kind of what's here. And you got a strip up the side of a hill for end road type of deal. And the big waterway goes down the center of the farm. There's up on that end. There's the same grass end rows up and down the hills for turnarounds. Keeps the rows from running up and down the hill. Another spur line waterway goes up that side, and then there's a waterway on the other side of that hill as well, kind of just like this. And then there's one more spot I'll show you in a second. The last part of this farm that's in hay is basically it was seeded down because of today's equipment is so big. It's just easier to seed it down and forget about it. So right here along up around the house, that's just been seeded down. You got 24 row planters, 12 row combines, etc. 90 foot, 100 foot sprayers. So that's just that's only like 120 feet wide. So this is kind of around the other end. That's where we were, just on the other side of those little buildings. But that's what a bulk of my hay ground is. We have several farms like that. Basically, we can put together 300 to 500 bales of hay off of stuff like that. Most of it is could go in, like I said before. It's a lot of. There's three different driveways on that farm where I started and stopped, but. You can put a lot of them together. It does take longer than square fields, but this is $250 to $500 an acre farm ground. You can't afford to put hay on it, so that guy does, but they feed cattle. And it's their land, so it makes it different. But anyway, that's all for here. So. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Thanks everybody who subscribed lately, and thanks everybody who's always been watching. So anyway, we'll catch you guys next time.